sun in. Lift your weary head up to the sky. Open up your window, let the sun in, and sit out with your arms stretched open wide. Hello world.
Hello, world.
Hello, Matt.
Good morning, Chloe. It looks like you're back in the on the eastern seaboard.
Yes, I have returned to New England safely, and I got my flight left at 1 a.m. On a Tuesday, and then I got back to Boston at 4 p.m. just in time for sunset.
Oh, what was it? But like, was it?
It was 2 flights. There was a connection in Seattle I'm just back from Alaska. If we didn't mention that,
It was a different day though, right? It was the same. Like it was the like.
Oh, it was all well because I started so early in the morning on Tuesday. I was able to get back by Tuesday.
Oh, that's nuts.
4-hour time difference. And then, so I got back at 4 p.m. and then I went home and dropped off my stuff and then immediately went to get a COVID test. So really pleasant day.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, there's nothing better than a day of traveling and then COVID tests.
Yeah.
Like that's just like, if I had to pick 2 dream activities in this pandemic world.
Walking through an airport with a heavy winter coat, a backpack, and a dog, and then sitting on an airplane for 3 hours and then 7 hours, and then getting a small Q-tip shoved up your nose. Yeah, that's all my favorite things.
Well, I was really hoping that this would be one of your favorite things, but evidently I get it. We're not this show is not as fun.
No, it's third on the list though.
It's yes. Top 3. Yeah, no, that sounds like a nightmare. I've seen like news footage of people at the airports because evidently people were just like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and travel. Which I mean, hey, if you got to get where you're going, that's fine. And as long as you're safe about it and you know, everything. But that's the thing. It's like a lot of people aren't. So it's like, come on, folks.
Yeah. You know, if everybody followed all the protocols, we'd be fine. But
yeah.
Really doing that so much. Yeah.
Also, happy 2021. This is our,
we made it. Happy New Year.
We made it. This is our first show of 2021. Very exciting to be starting a new year with 2MB Studios.
Absolutely.
When we started this thing back in July of 2020, you know, had no idea we'd get here. Figured we'd do this for a few months and then we'd just kind of be done with it. But then
we'd be back on stage with a packed house and everybody breathing on each other.
Even after this is over, I don't know that I'll ever be able to go back to that.
Oh, we're gonna have real deep-seated hypochondria issues.
Yeah.
From now on.
from now until eternity. Yeah. But here we are, still going strong. We're all, oh man, I think we're going to hit 700 followers this week.
Really? That's amazing.
We've got about 30 more followers to go before we get to 700 followers on our Twitch channel, which I'm very, very excited about. We're close to 100 subscribers, which is even cooler. We did our first subscriber only event last week. We had David Thomas,
Oh my
from
gosh.
Quarantine Action Wrestling fame, build Quarantine Action Wrestlers for us, and it was a good time.
We've got exclusive content now. We are so cool.
Exclusive. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat right now. Raj Andelman, one of our favorite. Yeah, Mike knew exactly the one I was looking at too. Just those two words put together, yeah, it's the hot hit in the back. No.
Nope. No more of that.
No more. Did you do anything for New Year's Eve?
Yes. So my roommates and I had not had roommate Christmas yet. So we did roommate Christmas. Buddy Joe got 3 new outfits. I'm very hyped about it. I wanted to show you guys my favorite.
Is Buddy Joe in it?
No, he's not. He's sleeping. I can't disturb him at this hour. But it is a rain jacket with little ducks.
Oh no! Oh, that's
the best
amazing!
Thing ever.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. Like we're gonna have to see pictures. Yeah,
it's gonna be exclusive content.
Exclusive content. And thanks to Rachel for posting in the chat the link to our newsletter. We have a new 2MB Studios audience newsletter now, so you can keep up to date with everything. I had a much shorter link planned to be put in the chat, but Rachel's just on top of it. And I have given her no evidence to the fact that I would not forget. So she's being proactive, and we appreciate her for that.
Absolutely.
Oh, you did not do that. Oh, well, somebody did that. I don't know who did that. So we have a ghost producer in the house. Was that you that did that?
Oh, it's Mike. Hi, Mike.
I thought you would use the shorter link that I gave you in the chat, Michael, but that's all right. Rachel,
wait a minute. What did I do wrong?
No,
Rachel
we'll
also
talk about it offline. This isn't show fault.
No, it's fine. Well, then now I guess I need to apologize to Rachel.
You guys,
Rachel, you're still doing an amazing job. I want
here at 2MB Studios, we are computer masters.
We are in fact computer masters.
We know exactly what we're doing at all times.
Yeah, that's right. Rachel would have used the short link. I should have known. Rachel would have we have our first show of 2021. We have derailed. I do want to give a shout out to the. We got a couple people watching on the Facebook. I started a little watch party on my Facebook. I want to give a shout out to Brian and Kevin who are watching off my Facebook right now. So, hey y'all, good. Thanks for watching. All right, well let's get into it. We need to do our trivia. Because we're way behind schedule already.
Let's get to this trivia.
To it. So we've got our fact of the day today, which is a good one. I like this one. Today's fact of the day: on this day in 1984, Night Court, starring Harry Anderson, premieres on NBC. Look at that! I loved that show so much. And they're doing a reboot. They're doing like a not a reboot, but like a continuation of Night Court with Jean Le Roquette is Jean Le Roquette. That's
Jean Le Roquette.
Jean Le Roquette is reprising his role as Dan Fielding, and then I think it's all new people besides him.
Amazing.
It was on 30 Rock. No, they didn't reboot it. They just did another episode. It was another episode that Kenneth wanted to do. Yeah. So it's also let's see. It's also National Spaghetti Day. Which is sad for Chloe because she can't eat spaghetti unless it's made from gluten-free stuff.
Yeah, like chickpeas or lentils or quinoa or rice. There's a lot of options. I think I can have spaghetti these days.
So
Or
congratulations.
spaghetti squash. Thank
spaghetti
you.
squash.
We've been working around the clock to find the important solutions that the public deserves.
Exactly. And we have, I think. We have the technology. So our trivia question today is spaghetti based.
Ooh, good.
Let's see here. I have it here. Great. So today's trivia question, according to studies, I don't know what studies, but there have been studies. Spaghetti is the favorite pasta of Americans. Spaghetti, hands down, favorite pasta. But what two pastas come in second and third?
Oh,
there are two pastas that come in second and third. So think
we're
about
talking
that.
Pasta shapes. Yeah.
Yeah, pasta shapes.
Okay.
Like what like spaghetti is the the long thin,
the long skinny one,
which
all right,
translates from the Italian into, I believe, something like wire or like something like that.
Really?
In my spaghetti research that I did very late last night. Yeah, let's.
I never thought about spaghetti as actually meaning something. I just accepted it as a nonsense word for long noodles.
That's a nonsense word for long noodles. So, oh my goodness, we already have guesses for the thing pouring in. That's great.
Oh, yes.
Coming. We're not going to give you the answers though until the end of the show, so you have to stay to the very end to watch. Around. But we're real easy to put on in the background while you do other stuff, much like our dear friend Amanda's doing right now. So,
congrats on your new job, Amanda.
Congrats on the new job. So let's bring out. I mean, we need to bring out our first guest. We've
put this off too long.
And I am so damn excited. Can I say damn? I can say damn.
It's a low cussing show. You get one.
I get one. So I'm very excited for this our first guest today. He is a cartoonist that has had stuff in the New Yorker. We're classy now. We have a.
Why did I just do Dr. Evil? Sorry. What I meant to do was, I don't have a mug, but I'm going to stick my pinky out here. That's Absolutely. Fine.
And also a publication that shaped my comedic mind, Mad Magazine. Very excited to have this guy on the show today. Please welcome Phil McAndrew. Phil, good morning.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Also, I'll say this to you again, Phil. I said it when you first came in. Your beard game is on point, and I can't wait to get this to that. Like this is my goal. This is my quarantine goal. Rachel says hello. Rachel, of course, was good enough to bring you on the show today. Very excited to have you.
Hi, Rachel.
How's your 2021 going so far?
I can't complain so far. I mean, all I've really done so far is play video games, which has been okay.
What are you playing right now? This is on Twitch, so we do need to have. We're contractually obligated to have some video game content. So, what games are you playing right
now? Right now, I'm playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto Online. I
just started. I can't figure out how to drive, and it's infuriating.
I remember being at that point. I started. I think it was. I don't remember when I started. It was early last year, sometime. Driving was really hard at first. I thought it took me a few days to get the hang of it.
Are you playing on PC? Are you on PC? Are you?
I started on PC, and a few months ago, I bought an Xbox because my brother has an Xbox, and we were like, "Oh, you know what? That's like a fun quarantine thing to do."
Investment.
Yeah. It was really. I mean, I don't think I would have bought an Xbox any other year ever. But this year, I was like, "That seems like a good thing to do."
Yeah, my wife got me an Xbox One for Christmas. I think 2 years ago, back when Fallout 4 first came out. And I don't believe I've been as excited for a Christmas since I was like 10. Like it was that, like I had that joy revisited because I didn't open it until Christmas morning. I knew it was there, and I was just waiting, and I was like, oh, God. It's like, yeah, this was what it felt like to be a 10-year-old on Christmas.
Yeah.
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 And then of course I spent all day, like, I was like, don't talk to me. I'm busy.
I'll be in my office.
That's how Christmas should go, is like you open the presents and then you play with the presents and you have a casual dinner. I don't want to leave my house on Christmas ever. No. Like even in non-pandemic times.
Yeah, exactly. So Phil, you oh man, you are I was looking at your illustrations. Your illustrations are fantastic. I love them. How did you get started in doing something like this? Like, when did you realize that this was something that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this?
Well, I mean, I feel like every kid draws a little. Like, I just, I started drawing when I was a kid. The only thing is most people stop at some point, and I just never really stopped. And it got to the point, when I was nearing the end of high school, where that's all I really wanted to do or really could do well. So I was like, well, this is my only option. Better just dive head first into it.
Right.
Might as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've drawn for you've had things in Mad Magazine, which is so cool. My mother I would go shopping with my mother at the grocery store, and there was the magazine rack, at the grocery store, and while she was over shopping, I would go over to the magazines and I would look at the magazines while my mom would shop. That was her way of getting me out of her hair, so she could do the grocery shopping, right? And I would always go look at I would get the Mad magazine and I would take it to her, and I'd be like, Mom, can I get this? Like, I want this. And she would take it and she would thumb through it to make sure that there wasn't.
Make sure there was nothing objectionable.
I guess, but it's Mad magazine. There's always going to be something objectionable, right? And then she would be like, "Yeah, sure, let's get it." When did you know you wanted to draw for Mad magazine?
I mean, it's Mad magazine, so it was always kind of something where I was like, that would be awesome to do that. But I honestly, I never really thought that was something I'd get a chance to do until it was like 2011, I think. The comics editor at Mad magazine and I just kind of connected on Twitter, and he was like, yeah, man, send some stuff in. And amazingly, yeah. I've had a lot of good things have happened to me because of Twitter, for the most part. I feel very lucky about that. I know some people have bad things happen because of Twitter.
Well, I will say that pretty much all of the guests we have on this show come from Twitter. Rachel is good thing. Another amazing thing that has come from Twitter. Rachel
probably is the best thing that's come from Twitter for you, obviously.
Obviously. I'm just going to share my screen real quick here and show. This is, I love this. Like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love this. This is from Phil. This is from Phil's website. It's so good. This looks like I really want to read this book. I really want to read this. Tell me about Cave Boy Dave.
There are actually two Cave Boy Dave books. They're graphic novels, kind of geared towards younger readers. And they're written by a really great children's author named Aaron Reynolds. It's very funny. Those are like the projects I've done that have taken the longest. Each book I did took about 1.5 years, 2 years, around there.
Oh, wow.
So that was a good like 4 years of my life was just working on those.
Yeah,
that's crazy. This is also another, like, I was looking at this one in particular, and I love this kind of progression because he's got the little friend down here. He's got
a little sidekick.
Yeah. Now, does this character have a name, or is this just a random warrior person?
He doesn't really have a name. This is actually one small illustration from a much larger comic I did for a website called The Nib. a couple of years ago, and it's actually a nonfiction comic. I have a couple of friends who are teachers, and one of them was doing stuff with Dungeons and Dragons in school, like with his students.
So cool.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. And over a couple of years, I started meeting more teachers who were doing stuff like that. And so the Nib is a website. They mostly do like political comics and like journalism comics. And so I pitched them, a story about just kind of looking into like Dungeons and Dragons and being used in schools and how, what some of the benefits of that might be. So that one little image is just part of a longer thing about Dungeons and Dragons.
I love that. I love that teachers are starting to do that, right? Because it's such a wonderful way to kind of unlock that part of their imagination and as well get them to understand, this is how.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good things in D&D that can kind of I don't know, things that kids can get excited about, but also, kind of trick them into learning.
Yeah. So has the let's kind of fast forward to like this past year. Like this past year's been a garbage fire of a year. But how has it affected kind of what you do? Because it seems that like you could work pretty much pretty easily from your space.
Yeah. It's been a weird year because, I've spent my whole adult life basically working alone from home.
You've trained for this.
Yeah, I was talking to another cartoonist friend of mine, and we were both kind of just like, dude, like our whole lives have been building up to this moment. Like we are ready. But weirdly, I like the stress of everything in the world right now. Kind of early on in the pandemic, I had a few months where I just wasn't drawing at all. Like not anything. Luckily I had just a little bit of money saved up so I could kind of afford to do that. And I also teach part-time at Syracuse University in their illustration program.
Oh, cool.
So that kind of allowed me to be like, okay, I can take a little time off and,
sort through things.
Kind of like unpackage all this. So I don't know. The first half of this year was not great for me, professionally, just because it was like I just need to dive into video games or like reading comic books or something.
But
the beginning
of the pandemic was weird.
Yeah,
for everybody, right. It's like, but then you're like, it's at a certain point, you're like, okay, I gotta move forward.
Yeah. So I also I moved. Like right kind of in the middle of the pandemic. So that took up a couple months. But, now I'm kind of back in the normal swing of things. I'm about to start illustrating a book. I'm, drawing again and
cool.
writing.
What kind of book? Can you talk to us about that?
It's a picture book that a friend of mine wrote. And I don't want to say too much about it because it's it's still top secret early stages. But it's going to be a picture book, and it's going to be very silly with lots of hearts and boogers and things like that. So.
Oh, I love that. I love that where it's like the super intricate kind of lots going on drawings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I love Where's Waldo, like the Where's Waldo books.
Yes,
because there's so much to just look at, right?
Those are like some of my all-time favorites. I actually have all of them on the shelf, like right behind my drive. I look at them all the time.
That was
I can kind of see the connection between Where's Waldo and your art. Like I can see that influence now that you mention it.
I think that was one of my favorite bits in looking at Mad magazines, where like when you would open it up and it would just be a page of just like all this stuff going on, and you could just sit and look at it for hours, and it's just you always find something different. Yeah,
they have one of their regular guys is an artist named Tom Bunk. If you ever look, Google his name, he draws the most. It's like the most deranged, like Where's Waldo stuff. Like he does big 2-page spreads for them all the time, and they're just amazing. They're just so full of like vomit, and it's got like bones like on the ground, like that kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bella in the chat brings up is it scary? Is it Richard Scary or Scary? Like how is
I've
it?
always said scary. I don't know
Yeah,
if
me too.
the official pronunciation is, but I think Richard's Scary. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But yeah, like Busy Town.
Love
Just
Busy Town.
yeah, me too. So is so cool to look at. Well, that's fantastic. When is that? Like, is that we're talking like 2022? Like maybe later?
Yeah, not for a while. I think 2022. I'd have to double check the exact publishing schedule. I'm not totally sure off the top of my head, but I think it always takes like you work on these books for like 6 months or a year, and then it's like a whole nother 6 months or a year after that when they finally are published and available. So it'll be a while.
Right. Who would you say are some of your kind of your inspirations, like for your style? Like, I love your style of drawing. Where would you say that style kind of, where did that grow out of?
I mean, honestly, a big one is like the Muppets. I was pretty Muppet obsessed growing up. So I think that totally bled into it a little bit. There's an older illustrator named Ronald Searle, who I think is like one of the greatest artists that's ever lived.
Ronald, what was his last name?
Ronald Searle. I can let me see if I can drop that in the chat, maybe.
I like to take all these notes so I can look things up after the show.
And some of the Mad Magazine guys, Sergio Aragones, I think is huge. Tom Bunk, who I mentioned, I really love. The Where's Waldo books, were big for me growing up.
Did you have a particular? Someone in the chat asked if you had a particular like favorite Waldo page.
Oh man, there's I think it's the third Waldo book. It has a yellow cover. I forget the exact. I always forget the names of them, but there's a page in that. Well, there's actually pretty much any page from that book. I think that one is like the pinnacle of Waldo. It's got all kinds of weird like fantasy stuff, and there's like a big castle full of like vampires and mummies.
Is that the one that has like the wizards page?
Yeah, there's a wizards page. There's one that's like underground tunnels and like all these weird like snakes and dragons and things. That whole book I think is my favorite when it comes to Waldo, or Wally as he's known in most of the world actually.
Really? Where's Wally?
Yeah, where the artist that does those is from the UK, I think, and everywhere else in the world it's Where's Wally, but for some reason in the US it was published as Where's Waldo.
It's because we have to be different and we have to be contrary. Yeah. It's like here it's the hokey pokey, but in the UK it's the hokey cokey.
What? I did not know that.
What?
There's a little nugget for you. So I just did a quick Google of Tom Bunk because I was like, I want to put the face to the name to the drawing. And did he originally do the Garbage Pail Kids? Was he the guy?
He was one of the the Yeah, they had a few artists, but he was one of the main like original Garbage Pail guys.
Oh man, the Garbage Pail Kids were just insane.
That was a big thing. I mean, I've always kind of loved collecting those cards, but like early on in the pandemic, I just grabbing at something to like fill my time with was like on eBay, like ordering Garbage Pail Kids cards and like collecting, like filling in the holes in my old sets.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen the movie? Did you watch the Garbage Pail Kid movie? I think I tried to watch it once very, very long ago, and I have almost no memory of it. So I want to try that again. I know it's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It is not. It did not, and it probably didn't age. My guess is it didn't age well either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So obviously, I know what the Garbage Pail Kids are, but for our viewers at home, what is that?
Sure. Hold on. We're gonna get you some Garbage Pail. Some Garbage Pail Kid. I see Mike furiously typing. Our producer Mike is he is on it. Like Like he was gone for like 3 or 4 weeks. Like he took a month off, like a normal human being.
I never leave us again.
And Chloe and I were lost. The show ran, but it really didn't.
It happened.
It happened. So these are the Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh
They're
my!
just gross, which is the idea. Hard shelly.
No. This is amazing.
Yeah. This is Lippy Laura. Oh, gross. Oh, that's so. Mad Donna. Oh, these are.
Oh my gosh! Wait, these look like these look like playing cards?
Yeah,
they were like collecting, like trading cards.
Oh my gosh!
Starting in the early '80s, I believe. They actually still make new ones now. I think there was a chunk of time where they were not, around.
Schmo exotic.
That seems like it's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even pick on the one. The one that kind of looks like the T word. I don't even want to put him on the show. But Boof Wellington. Go back up to the taco one, Mike, if you can. The hard shelly. The taco is extremely neat. Like that's a well put together taco.
I was gonna say, like that taco doesn't look like it came out of the garbage.
Yeah. Like I would have expected it to be a lot sloppier, especially when you look at the one right next to it, which is just disgusting. Or it's just all
Crater Chris.
Yeah, it's just nothing but pimples. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So that's the garbage. Those are the Garbage Pail Kids.
Love them.
And you could probably, my guess is the Garbage Pail Kid movie is probably on YouTube somewhere.
I would assume it is. Yeah.
So that is probably something you could watch for free at this point. Phil, this is this has been a treat. I've loved this so much. I could talk to you for days. We could definitely should have you back. So check out Phil McAndrew. Follow him at Phil McAndrew. Also, his website is fillintheblanks.com.
Clever.
And you can see all of his work there as well. Phil, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Yeah, this has been fun.
Take care. It's so cool.
I love that. I haven't thought about Where's Waldo actually my brother was Waldo for Halloween last year.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a great, easy costume. But I used to read those books all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was a Richard Scarry guy. I was a Busy Town kid. Yeah. Like I would look at the Busy Town books and stuff too. And like I said, Mad Magazine, just it's so cool to have that kind of reminiscing and kind of see, what that can lead to, kind of how that can inspire people. It's such a cool thing to see. So check out all of Phil's work and I don't know, buy a book or two. Yeah, buy a book.
Well, maybe give an artist your money.
Maybe support artists.
Maybe support artists.
We're in a bad way right now, y'all.
Help us.
I did. I finally got my Band-Aid in my bank account today. My very small Band-Aid for the very large open wound that is my bank account. So
amazing.
That $600 is coming, y'all. Just wait.
Is it? It's on the way, huh?
It's on the way. Check your bank.
It's gonna change everything.
It's gonna your life will change. If you thought that first $1,200 went fast,
it's gonna be like it's gonna be like it's gonna set off like a Mr. Magoo chain of events that stumbles you right into wealth.
Yeah. Honestly, I just wish the government would like just they should just do like it's a mad world scenario where they say, look, we have buried $1 billion under this marker, and they tell this to everybody, and they're like, go.
Did you know about when Tom Brady did that with UGG products, right?
He did.
In the city of Boston, he made a post. I think this must have been a couple years ago. He made a post and was like, I've hidden this Patriots themed UGG products around the city. Go find them. And you know what happened?
People lost their mind.
People lost their minds. and they were fighting. They were physically.
What? That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense about Boston.
People in Boston wouldn't do that.
like Boston and Philadelphia, you cannot do stuff like that. No. Philadelphia, the other one that really delights me as a story is there's this hitchhiking robot that went all around Canada. They were doing an experiment of like, let's see how far we can get this robot to go. This robot went all around Canada. No problems. They put it in Philadelphia. In like 2 days, it was in pieces in a parking lot.
Go Philly.
Go Philly.
I don't know. Hitchhiking robot just sounds weird to me, but
it's a very strange concept.
Yeah. I did watch the video of the robots dancing from Boston Dynamics. I don't know if you've seen that.
That was in Boston.
Yeah, that Boston Dynamics. This is just down the road. We're going to be
robot apocalypse.
Yeah,
I don't
when the robot revolution happens.
Yeah, that's the hitchhiking robot.
Was that the hitchhiking robot?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't pick that robot up. I'm sorry. That robot looks sketchy.
Look at its cute boots.
Look at its cute boots.
Right.
Yeah, that was a trash robot.
It is. It's just garbage.
Who would want that in their car? Look at that.
Maybe it's the light.
You know what? I'm back on Philly's side here. You know what, Philly? You're right. You were right to dismantle that robot.
I think it's a monster.
Philly was just recycling. That's what Philly was doing.
It's the natural order of things.
Natural order. I don't know what Blue Bike want to get. Oh, those are the bikes that you just rent, right?
Yeah. 30 minutes or less kind of ride.
And they end up in the river. Just throwing stuff in the river because, I mean, what else are rivers for? Except to throw things.
What else are bikes for?
Except to be thrown in rivers. You're right. Well, I feel like we should move on to our YouTube segment.
Yes,
because,
please.
You can tell 2021 is going to be a good year for us because we're just full of talk today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so hyped.
Oh, Mike, you are a treasure of a human being. Yeah. So what happens when you go to Philly? Be careful. So
I'm gonna use my one cuss today.
Do it. Yeah.
Philadelphia. Fuck around and find out.
Yep. We're a PG-13 show now because we can only use it once.
Yeah.
So let's do some YouTubing. I wanted to go with going on with what I did last week. Last week I showed you the Diary of a Sad Dog. This week I wanted to show you a little bit of his more recent, not recent, where I mean it's still within the last like 5 or 6 years, but he does these true facts videos. Same guy does these true facts videos about animals. So this is true facts about lemurs.
Oh my gosh.
We're live.
Amateur Here are true facts about the lemur. The ring-tailed lemur, seen here basking its nitzels in the sun, is one of roughly 100 species of lemur, the endangered primitive primate that lives on the island of Madagascar. Jerome, you have to take this seriously. I'm not going to ask again. Ring-tailers are highly social, living in troops of up to 30 individuals. Females are dominant, and they are the same size as the submissive males. The hormones regulating increased female aggression also lead to enlarged genitals, and it can be hard to tell them apart. This, for example, is a female, while this one could be either. Oh, no. Male. In order to stay connected, females participate in social grooming. Trust me, if you did this with your roommates, you'd be closer too. It's like taking a piece of lint off your roommate's sweater, except you're both naked and you're using your tongue. With all this grooming going on, lemurs have evolved a kind of Swiss Army vanity kit. They have a comb made out of their friggin' teeth. They also have an elongated nail referred to as a toilet claw, which sounds like something Wolverine would be admitted to the hospital for. In fairness, the word toilet used to mean washing up or getting dressed, not a hole to get in. The word toilet isn't happy about that. He gets teased at cocktail parties. Words like taffeta and bouillabaisse make jokes like, have you seen what toilet is wearing? Was it a steaming pile of shit? And they both which isn't nice. I digress. One of the greatest benefits of being a wild animal is, of course, some lemurs, though, are not true free poopers, instead choosing a very unhappy tree as a communal latrine. Lemurs are among the most vocal of the primates. The Indri lemur, for example, can't seem to shut up and sounds a bit like when you squeak fart by pulling apart the butthole of a birthday balloon. Told you. Lemurs also communicate through colognes that they make themselves in scent-producing glands. For example, Brenda is saying that she really likes this little tree. This is Brenda's tree now. When female ringtails are receptive to mating, males compete in something called a stink fight. They rub their tails over a variety of scent glands on their genital regions, their wrists, and their chest. This arms the tail with an odor, which, like a fraternity brother cup-wafting a fart, they send in their competitor's general direction. This works. If you're at a bar, take your hand and mix the smoke from your rear bubus, your front stank, and your two pixels, and wave it at someone. $10 says they leave. Ringtails spend a lot of time on the ground, and from a young age learn to walk and run fairly gracefully. The Zwiacher, on the other hand, do we have a better angle? This is like a post on a private Instagram account called Brown-Eyed Earl. Much better. Zwiachers spend most of their lives in trees and are very impressive jumpers. They are even comfortable on the octopus tree, a tree covered in spiky thorns, which is evolution's way of saying, don't f***ing climb on me.
Oh, I love his videos. They're just so good.
Are these true facts, Matt?
I mean, it's in the title. It says true facts. I think so. I think that
lemurs are crazy.
Lemurs are crazy. Like, we'd have to fact check those, which I don't have the time or the energy to. What? Who am I kidding? I have nothing but time to do it, but I just don't have the energy or the willpower to do that.
That's oh my god, that's incredible.
Yeah. So you're welcome.
Thank
the
you.
Jellyfish one is also particularly good.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up. I can't wait. There's not much I love more than animal facts. I used to get, do you remember those? I don't think it was National Geographic, but it would be like the wild books or whatever that like you get this giant binder and then like once a week or something you'd get a little like 2-page flyer that goes into the binder and it was each thing was like one animal and like all the facts about it and you got little tabs so you could organize them by like mammals and stink fights are real. Yep.
Stink fights are real. Mike knows he's part of an underground stink fight ring. He can't talk about it though. It's Stink Fight Club.
The first rule of Stink Fight. It wasn't zoo books. It was something else. But I did also have zoo books. Anyway,
I was too busy reading Mad Magazine. I didn't. Yeah,
I get it.
So your video today is also animal related.
It is also animal related. You guys, the New England Aquarium is not open due to COVID reasons, but they have right out front a harbor seals exhibit where the glass is like facing the outside, and you can go see those harbor seals, and they sometimes have like the trainers are out there like feeding them or brushing their teeth. And I went and saw them yesterday, and they were so cute, and you can get to know all of them. There's little profiles of them up in front of the cage, and
Sorry, I'm looking at in the chat. Bella says, yes, it's the best drunk activity. I'm like,
you guys,
yeah, you could go drunk, but you could also go sober and watch them. They're just as fun.
take your mask, take a flask, and go see some seals.
Get a flask mask.
Get a flask mask. Here we go. Teeth brushing.
To brush their teeth. Now, all the training we do is based on little tiny steps. So if we were going to train Reggae from the beginning to tooth brushing, we would start with the most basic step, which is just asking him or training him to hold his mouth open, just like this. That would sort of be like the first level. Now, for the next step, we might just show him the toothbrush or gently touch the toothbrush to his teeth. And you can think of this as level 2. There we go. Now, once Reggae is clearly comfortable with this, we can move on, and slowly over time, we can build up his comfort level until we can brush his teeth every single day. And that's our goal with all of the harbor seals here. They are prone to things such as plaque and gingivitis, just like people are. So it's really important that we get in there and brush their teeth on a daily basis. And you can see Reggae is quite comfortable with this. And as reinforcement or reward for sitting still and getting his teeth brushed, you can see he gets these gigantic pieces of fish. Now their teeth are similar to the teeth you'll see in a dog's mouth. They don't have any flat molars. They're all pretty sharp and pointy. And that makes sense if you're a harbor seal and you're going to hunt fish, right? Those fish can swim really fast, and you have to be able to just grab them so they can't get away. So they don't have any flat teeth like we do. They tend to just grab their fish and swallow it whole, just like that.
And he's done. He's like, yeah, get away from me with that thing.
So cute.
Husbandry care we do with our animals. Anything different is good. Good. Such as teaching them to show off their flippers, anything that might be cognitive training, such as thinking about different things, or even retrieving objects. We're going to do a little more teeth brushing here to make sure we get them all. Best I can, that you guys get a good look at those chompers.
Oh, man.
Point out other whiskers. Their whiskers are called vibrissae, and they're called so because they're used to pick up vibrations underwater. And if you were to feel them, they sort of feel like guitar strings. They are pretty thick. And that's how they would hunt their fish. They would dive down underwater, use those whiskers to feel for underwater vibrations, then use those sharp, pointy teeth to chomp down on that swimming fish or squid.
Look at him. He's closing his eyes.
Fantastic. Well, a little bit. So it doesn't happen naturally. This happens over time, building a positive relationship with our animals here. And then soon he learns, hey, toothbrushing is a pretty cool thing. We're going to go ahead and finish up with Reggae. But I want to thank you guys so much for checking in. And we're happy to share our training program with you and teach you more about the animals. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.
Oh, man. That's cool. As someone that brushes, like we brush our pups' teeth every night, like we, between Annie and Gracie, right? Like, and like they both do it begrudgingly, you know? But I mean, that seal could take your hand off. Like,
oh yeah. But they're so sweet. So this was, I was on a socially distanced date. And I couldn't
go on.
He brought me flowers.
Did he?
Yeah. This was our first date. I was impressed. Guys,
First date flowers. That's a good thing. First
spring
date
flowers. Yes.
Okay.
And I could have stood there for like 2 hours watching those seals. I think he was done after like 20 minutes. But they were so cute because they did the trainers will have them do tricks and like interact with the people outside the glass. And they're just like sea dogs. They're the dogs of the sea. They're so adorable. And one of the seals like did this while I was there, and I just like also started I like couldn't help but mirror him. I was like, yeah.
And he's like, I got these humans trained. It's like I'll make eye contact with one, I'll do this, and then they start doing this. I am all powerful.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Bella is correct. If you see the seals for free, you can budget in those flowers.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a good free date idea. Like
it's
to just
really
go
great.
down and watch that. If you can brave the travel from wherever you are to downtown Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, Trashy the robot.
Dear old Trashy.
Dear old Trashy. We knew him well.
We did.
So yeah, if you're in the Boston area, go to the New England Aquarium and see the harbor seals. And then when COVID is over, so in 2024, go actually inside the aquarium. It's amazing. Like the inside of that aquarium is just unbelievable. It's so cool. So check that out.
Check it out.
Let's do some birthdays. We need to do some birthdays because we've got our second guest waiting eagerly backstage to come out and say hello. So let's do some birthdays today. Let me pull up my little birthday thing here. So today's birthday, Andy Borowitz, the Borowitz Report. Wonderful little satire thing you might have heard of. Michael Stipe of REM, and Julie Ormond. Julia Ormond. Who is, for those of you that don't know, she was Sabrina in the movie remake of Sabrina with Harrison Ford and Greg Kinnear.
Oh, which the original was with Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
I
Rachel, not a fan of the Borowitz Report. Sorry, Rachel. If you would have told me that, I wouldn't have said happy birthday to him. I rescind my birthday.
We don't say happy birthday to people that Rachel doesn't like.
No, we don't. It's actually in my contract for the show. I can't legally do that.
That's true.
So those are birthdays today. Let's see this week's birthdays. Let's see. Robert Duvall, Michael O'Donoghue, and my dad.
Happy birthday, Matt's dad!
My dad's birthday is on Tuesday, so happy birthday, Dad. Wednesday, Rowan Atkinson and Eddie Redmayne. Thursday, Nick Cage. And then Friday, David Bowie, Elvis. Yeah, happy birthday, Nick.
That is from a movie where he thinks that he's a vampire, but you don't know the whole movie whether he actually is one or he just is really convinced that he's a vampire.
Yeah, that's I haven't seen it, but I've seen enough like clips of it where he does the A-B, where he does the alphabet, and it's the most Nick Cage thing that Nick Cage has ever done.
It's true.
It's very
David Bowie, Elvis Presley, and Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Friday.
So those are our birthdays.
Also, shout out to my coworker Nichelle. She is an excellent trainer, and my former roommate Andrew Havilis. Happy birthday, bud! You're great.
Yeah, and if you know somebody that's got a birthday coming up, feel free to shoot us an email at that'stoomuchbread@gmail.com. And if you email us and you want us to do a birthday shout out on a Monday morning, we 100% will.
We absolutely will.
So shoot us those emails if you would like, or just shoot us an email and say hi. I'm fine with that too.
Rachel's is in April. Make sure to mark that down.
Rachel's is in April. Mark that shit down. Done. Also, yeah, what will your let's take a look.
Bella,
Oh,
happy
Bella was your birthday.
birthday.
Bella hosts co-hosts a show on 2MB Studios called Tall Tale Short Tale. It's the first Saturday of every month. It's a great like storytelling show. This last week was their show, so go back and watch it on the replay. It's awesome. It's some really funny stories. Sabrina Wu was one of the guests, and Sabrina Wu is one of the funniest people in the world. She is so funny. But yeah, it's definitely NSFW. So don't listen to it without headphones at work. Don't just blare it at your place of business. So
it's a high cuss and good time.
It's a high cuss and good time. So yeah, and before we, just a real quick plug. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you can do so. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can do it with absolutely no extra charge to you. You just have to go onto Amazon and go to your, I believe it's like a Twitch Prime. You'll see a thing for Twitch and Twitch Prime, and then you have a Twitch Prime subscription that you can use, and you can use that right here on this channel. And that's a great way to just toss us $2.50, and you don't have to do anything. Or if you'd like to subscribe for $5 a month, you can do that as well. And you get emoticons. You get. We're going to start doing some more subscriber-only content, which is very exciting. Exclusive content. So speaking of exclusive content, this is not exclusive content. This is anybody can see this, but it's time to bring out. It feels exclusive, yeah, because not many people are awake. It's super early, and whatever. Let's bring out our next guest. Oh, let's see here. Very excited. A very, very funny comedian, all the way from Bushwick, which I found out today is part of Brooklyn.
That's in New York.
That is in New York City. That I know. Let's bring out Andrew Durso. Andrew, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving me a geography lesson this morning before the show. I was like, Andrew, where are you calling from? He's like, Bushwick. I was like, where's that?
No, yeah, it's very. I moved here 3 years ago, but it's a very obnoxious thing that people in New York do, where they just assume everybody knows everything about the city. So I apologize.
That's all right.
Why wouldn't we? It's the most important city in the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see in a year. Sorry, I'm starting this off on a grim note. I apologize.
So you said you moved to Bushwick 3 years ago?
Yes.
So how has so you've been there both pre-quarantine and now all through quarantine? How has that been? Like as far as like a change in the city?
It's been fine. I mean, like I definitely miss comedy a lot. Like in March, I kind of learned how much of it made up my social life. But I mean, like, I still have an I don't take the subway a lot now, but I still have an infrastructure like within 1 block of me, and I can like see my friends like distance in the park wearing masks and stuff. We've been having to brave the cold recently, so that's not fun. But I'm doing all right, all things considered. Like all my problems are not problems that everyone else isn't facing right now. So.
Right, but I mean, there's still problems nonetheless. Have you been doing a lot of Zoom shows, or been doing streaming shows?
I did a few early on. I kind of stepped back from it because I don't think I'm good at Zoom shows. Like I think, I did them like very early on before I think people learned you can kind of just like unmute the microphone for the audience, because I had like. It might be weird having a laugh delay, but it's not as weird as just having to do like jokes to silence and just like, and I don't like I feel so weird like saying a joke and then mugging for the camera for like 2 seconds for no reply. It makes me feel like so weird. I don't think they put me in my head too much.
Yeah, I feel the same way with doing improv on Zoom has been like I've done a little bit of it, but it's like I can't wrap my head around it. We're 9 months into this, and I've only done it a couple of times, and it's just I can't wrap my head around it.
Right, yeah, we're kind of in this like weird period right now where the first few months everyone was super game for it and like let's put on a show, and like now it's like in this like purgatorial state where it's just like I guess we have to keep doing this. If we want to do the thing we like.
We kind of started it, so we gotta follow through. What's great, I feel, is like we found ways to like work around it, right? Like we're doing shows like this, we're doing doing these like game show type things or like panel shows and things like that where you can just like talk to people.
Yeah, that's all incredible. Like I think that to me is like a better way of doing it than just trying to like because like stand up, like I don't have experience in improv. Like stand up is like really thrives on a live. Like that's like before doing these stand up Zoom shows, I used to think that the audience was like 50% of comedy, and now after doing a show with muted microphones to the audience, you're like, oh no, it's like 98% of comedy.
You're like, oh yeah, remember the audience? You remember when we used to like swear about the audience and be like, these shows would be so much better if it. No, they're not.
No, yeah, I would like the unmuted microphones doing. I would prefer like something in the basement of a Trattoria where there's like two uninterested tourists and part of the audience that just like wandered off in because somebody barked them. Because
it's you learn as a live performer, and especially in comedy, pretty early that like you have to learn how to entertain yourself while you're doing it, and like if there's only two people there but you're still having a good time by yourself, like that's a thing that you can do. With the Zoom, it's like you're waiting for something that's not going to happen, and it's you're in your room by yourself. It's not as good.
Also I just never knew the way my face contorted when I told my jokes, and like that's very distracting.
That immediate feedback.
Just like jokes I used to tell like 2 times a night, 5 days a week, and I never knew the way my face twisted when I like leaned into it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like the most chilling thing that happens to me is sometimes I'll just be around my apartment and I'll remember a joke I used to tell, and like I'll just get like a shiver down my spine. like I'll be like holding a mug of coffee and it'll just fly everywhere.
It's like all of a sudden just slow-mo drops onto the floor and shatters.
Right. Yeah. Every time I remember a joke, I realize who Kaiser Soze is.
Oh, hey, nice, good reference. Good Usual Suspects reference.
I know every movie that used to be on dorm room posters.
Nice. So, you know what? I had a question in my head and I forgot it.
It's cool, man. We can just do freewheeling style. I love that you guys brought up Hitchbot. That was such a funny. The hitchhiking robot. I think its name is Hitchbot.
Hitchbot, not to be. It didn't like hook people up like the movie Hitch. It was the hitchhiker.
Yeah. It's like
no.
The fact that like a bunch of guys from Philly destroyed it is like the funniest thing to me. And I remember like I used to like. When the story first came out, I think everyone was like less skeptical of artificial intelligence. I told them I thought it was funny that it got destroyed, and people were like, "No, it's just one more
robot."
Yeah,
what a ride, man.
Yeah, whereas like now in like 2021, it'd be like, what's this fucking robot up to?
Spying on me, robot spying on me.
Have you seen the dancing video? Have you seen the dancing video where the robots dance to "Do You Love Me" like in Teen Wolf 2?
No, yeah, I saw. Yeah, no, my hair's definitely stood up on my neck in the past week. I saw that video.
Yeah, it's like that. Those robots have better rhythm than I do, and it's like, man, it's only a matter of time before they realize that, and then they're like, we're the superior.
We're the alphas now.
We're the alphas now. Yeah.
Yeah, they realize they can like capoeira dance fight you, like Eddie Gordo style.
It's just going to take one person to be like, let's try this out and put it in the programming.
Yeah, I remember like in the before times in Boston, I was taking was taking a lift, and like the driver was like really into like artificial intelligence, and like he was like a friendly guy. And I don't want to be like, I hope that I don't want to like shit on this guy because he's like really nice.
He's probably watching, you know.
Yeah, no, he's accumulating data for my Amazon purchases. But I remember he was like, tell me about like artificial intelligence. He had this like real manic excitement on his like like in his like voice as he was telling me. I think like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh man, all this sounds kind of scary. And like I could tell he had never really thought of that before, and he was just like, "What?" Like, I think I introduced him to the idea that these robots could be weapons.
Had he never seen a Terminator movie? Like,
yeah, that's the thing.
Well, so we had a guest on a couple of weeks ago who talked about drone technology, and you know, everybody has this association with drones and the military, but like. Drones were invented by hobbyists who wanted to put little cameras on their model planes. Like, it was just nerds who wanted to, like, see where their plane was going.
Yeah, people who wanted to have, like, a bird's eye view shot for their low-budget movie.
Yeah. Have you seen the drone fireworks? Have you seen those there? Basically, like, I think it's in might be Japan.
That's how they did that. Yeah.
They're like no sound fire. They do these no sound fireworks, and how they do it is they put these lights on drones, and there's like hundreds of them, and they fly them all up into the air at once, and it's at night, so all you can see is the light up stuff, and it's amazing. But also it's like, if you've seen the latest Spider-Man movie, it's like, we're real close to some Mysterio style villains here.
Yeah, all these like drones at a moment could like descend on me like a swarm of crows.
100%. And it just takes one person. It just takes a person with a remote control to be like, we're going to go see what Andrew's doing today.
Yeah, or he just like falls asleep and he nudges a lever with his elbow. He sets them all in kill mode.
Yeah, there's a big red switch that they don't let you touch that just has kill mode.
Yeah, it's a big lever, like how people like vote in movies from the 1930s. Just like chunk.
Yeah. Not like in Superman 2, where you've got the two keys that you have to turn at the exact same time. You know,
that's like a safer, a better safety net than just one lever.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how they like launch missiles, right? They do the two keys at the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
You need someone to sign off on it.
Yeah, they've got to crack open the thing, and there's like a code in the inside.
Yeah.
I want to go back to there was a question in the chat. You know, I like to keep an eye on the chat. This was a while ago, I think. They were asking what your favorite dorm room movie poster, what your favorite college dorm room movie is.
Oh man, that's hard. I will say I saw Memento again kind of recently, and I think that is genuinely a movie that is very good. I'm a Donnie Darko apologist. I think that's a very good movie. Like,
that's
people start
the best way to describe Donnie Darko fan.
Yeah, well, it's like people like ragged on it for the longest time because it was because like it was like the movie you put on your MySpace profile. I think it's genuinely good. I think it's like funny too. It has good jokes in it. Like that's a movie you don't expect to have good jokes in it. But it's like there's that line where the mom is like, "I seriously doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion." Like, that's a funny joke.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's just the people who talk about it the most are terrible.
Sure, yeah, but that's like also
so like Rick and Morty, like Rick and Morty fans. Like Rick and Morty's a great, it's a great show. Yeah. But Rick and Morty fans, on the other hand,
it could go either way.
Go either way.
No, God, this is a really good question. I'm sorry. I know I like answered it, but I'm just like thinking right now. I mean, what are the big college dorm? There's the Boondock Saints, which is a Boston staple.
Pulp Fiction was a like everybody had that movie poster. At least when I went to college.
Yeah,
which was the mid '90s. So.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is like the one of those movies I probably watched the most when I was a teenager. Like the DVD loop menu music for the movie Reservoir Dogs, I think is still going on in my head to this day. Like how much
Swingers.
Swingers good. The Big Lebowski is another like annoying fans legit great movie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Fuck. Excuse me.
I'm a registered Dudist priest.
Oh wow!
You can get ordained as a Church of the Latter Dude or it's something like that, but it's Dudism.
Can you like officiate weddings and shit?
I have, but not as from the Dudism. I don't know much about it. I just know that I was like, oh hey, I can go online and I can register, and if I wanted to spend money, I could get a certificate.
Man, if the church finds out you've been pulling double duty with the Church of Latter Dude Saints,
yeah, they're gonna be upset.
They're gonna be pissed off.
What is this? Oh yeah, there it is.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, I also have. I don't know where it is. I have a book somewhere of the tenets of Dudism.
That's amazing. Because it's honestly not a bad philosophy.
Oh sure, yeah. It's just I mean, like he's like an appealing, like funny character. Definitely. Yeah. I will say though, the one thing I got peg him on, I like the Eagles. I think they're a good band. I'm sick of hiding. I think they're fine. I think it's crazy that people have such intense hatred for the most 7 out of 10 band ever.
Yeah, I've got nothing against the Eagles. My mom was a big Eagles fan, so
every mom is. Every parent is. Yeah. It's just I think that like greatest hit CD is like legit the best-selling album of all time, and I know that sounds crazy over Thriller and stuff, but I honestly think it is, or it was for a long while.
Well, because it appeals to a wide range of people. Because you can I've never met anybody that hates the Eagles. It's like if it comes up on the playlist, it's like, oh, this is not bad.
This is cool. I saw this in the chat. The guy from the Eagles, the guy from Eagles. I don't know which guy. Was it Don Henley? Maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in the Eagles,
right? But really, we only know Don Henley.
Joe Walsh.
Okay, Joe Walsh.
There's there's like 2 others that I'm blanking at. Yeah, they're just like, well, it's like they have like songs like Take It Easy, then they have that like song Witchy Woman, which is just a fun song to wear a cape to. Like, I don't know, that's like they have some mysticism.
Yeah. Do you have a playlist of songs that are fun to wear capes to? Like, do you have other songs that
I like a lot of cape music. I enjoy my share of cape music.
Yeah.
I'm a big I'm like a big music guy in general, so I like a lot of like I guess weirder stuff you could say too.
Nice. What would be some other cape wearing? Can you give me some examples of some other cape wearing music? I don't mean to put you on the spot. This is something that I probably should have sent you like before.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like there is a genre of music from the 70s. It's just based off of pretending to be a witch, like Black Sabbath or like Fleetwood Mac, like just like classic rock with like an air of like weird, again, mysticism to it. Like among the things I am an apologist for, I'm also an apologist for old progressive rock music. I think it's like really fun and how over the top it is.
My dad does a lot of just like sitting and drinking coffee in the morning while he watches old Frank Zappa concerts on YouTube. And if you want to see like some crazy, like they're amazing to watch. Like their shows, watching live and seeing them perform is really cool to see the whole Frank Zappa experience.
Yeah, I this is like a little off topic, but like there's just my dad is like also a pretty big music guy, but likes a lot of like older stuff, like the blues, I guess, like classic dad music. And I remember like one day he plays guitar, and I'm like, I was just like a few years back, I was just visiting home, and I was like walking by his room, and he was playing the song Ace of Spades by Motorhead, like acoustic, which is like a heavy metal song. And this is like a song, I love that band. And like I remember like I was like, a Motorhead song? And then he was like, oh, son, this is actually an old blues standard. And I was like, no, it's not. It's a Motorhead song. And it's like we got into an argument. I had to like show on my phone, like, no, look, it's a Motorhead song. Like, I don't
Rachel has very very strong opinions on Frank Zappa. It looks like my favorite tweet is about how no one's ever worked so hard to suck like Frank Zappa. Wow, shots fired.
Fired.
Yeah, he was like a composer. Like he composed some like he was mixing like rock and class, like trying to get like this weird, like it was very weird.
Yeah, I admittedly don't know a ton about, I like Captain Beefheart a lot, who was kind of in his like sphere, I guess, who's like Frank Zappa adjacent. Like Frank Zappa, I just know he had like albums where he just like fuck around on a Casio keyboard for like an hour, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there was a story of him going on a talk show in like the 60s or early 60s. He was wearing like a suit and tie, very well put together, and he came out and he played a bicycle. Like he just kind of noodled around on a bicycle, saying that you could make music from anything. And evidently the man interviewing him, the host of the show, was like trying to was making fun of him a little bit, and you could just see like Frank Zappa getting angrier and angrier, being like, "You're a dick."
Yeah, well, now that is just a thing you'd see like a busker do on a subway platform, playing the bicycle. Yeah, he could have had another life as a street performer who goes to Berkeley. Absolutely.
Well, Andrew, this has been such a good chats today. Such good chats today. This fuels my social quota for really the upcoming like few days. I'm like, I try to store it up. Do you have anything going on, or do you have anything you'd like to plug? Definitely follow on the Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to plug at the moment. Just follow me on Twitter, I guess I could say. Yeah, if you want to see me have like just having one prolonged manic episode, like just go on Twitter.
I was just scrolling through your Twitter a little bit before the show, and I saw the one you did about making up character designs for Kingdom Hearts. And this was the. I'm just going to pop this in here. This was the Kingdom Hearts character.
It's very stupid.
Yeah. But that's a terrifying boss fight right there. So thank you so much, Andrew. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun. Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Oh, man. What a day this has been.
Yeah. We were talking about dad music, and my dad listens to Counting Crows. Hold on.
Oh, wait, there's more.
There's more. And he would continually misplace his August and Everything After CD, and instead of like really looking for it, he would just buy another copy. So we have about 6 copies of August and Everything After just like floating around the house. And one time
wow. So if you ever want a copy of that album,
the Counting Crows, not the Black
Counting
Crows.
Crows, Mike.
Come on,
two
Mike.
two different bands, Mike. Come on.
Come on.
Everything positive I said about Mike earlier, I take back.
No, Matt, don't do that.
Okay, I don't take it back. I would never. Okay, you're forgiven. I can't stay mad at you.
We can't stay mad at you.
Oh, historical hotties.
Hello.
Back to last week, Rorschach. It's funny. We were talking to Andrew briefly before the show, and we asked if he had any historical hotties, and the first person he mentioned was Joseph Stalin, which we talked about last week.
We did mention
Stalin. And how
again. We're talking about physical appearance,
physical appearances,
not the content of their character.
Right. Purely objectifying them as hotties or naughties. And evidently, Stalin could get it. We need to do this. This needs to be a recurring bit. We need to get Sarah back to do some historical hotties, or that would be, or can they get it throughout history? I love it. So we're winding down. We've just got a few minutes left. Thank you all so much for watching the show. I do want to just quick, it's Monday. We've got a full lineup today. Starting at 7:00, we have our game show trio of That Sounds Right, which tonight I am so excited for. Tonight's guests are Hannah Breen.
Wow.
Who's very, very funny. And then two other very, very funny people, one of which produces this show. Yeah. There you go. Did you see that? If you might have missed it, it was, that's right. Olympia Dukakis is going to be on the show. No, Mike Carr and Julie Carr are both going to be on That Sounds Right tonight.
I'm so excited.
So there's a good chance that show will go 2.5 hours. So just keep an eye on that. And then bring your knitting.
Maybe a dog for your lap, Yeah.
Then after that is Poof, the Magical Game Show, hosted by Nate Lopez and Robert Bacon. Tonight's guests are Nate's brother. Oh, it's Nate's brother. I don't know. Don't know his name. About that. No, I don't. Just the fact that it's Nate's brother. Run on tonight. You can see Rachel defend her title. Three-time run on champion. And I had his name in my text, but my phone died. Rachel just got a new phone, so that's fine. He's going in the newsletter as Nate's brother. We're not gonna change it now.
If he's related to Nate, he's probably all right.
Yeah. And then run on tonight. So tonight's a great lineup. We've got shows though all week long, 7 nights. Every night we have a show, something going on. So if you subscribe or follow, you can you'll get alerts when we go live. But we also have started sending out the weekly schedule in our newsletter, which we'll send out later this morning. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, feel free to sign up for the newsletter now, and you'll get that first issue. Actually, it's the second issue. Yes, will come out later this morning. So we have a little bit of business and a little bit of time. So let's bring up that trivia question one more time.
Yes, please. I want to know.
So according to studies, spaghetti is the favorite pasta for Americans. What are the second and third place contenders? Well, let's see. Silver goes to penne pasta.
Penne
pasta. Yeah. And then what would you say what would you say third or bronze would be, Chloe? What's your guess for bronze?
I really want it to be rotini.
Well, your dreams are a reality because it is in fact rotini.
Yeah, I love spirals.
Yeah, so that's your Olympic pasta trio here for National Spaghetti Day. Second place penne, third place rotini.
Elbows are delicious too, but
Elbows
only
got snubbed
in cheese. Mac and cheese.
Well, last night I made elbow macaroni with some cream of mushroom soup and some veggies. Did it was pretty tasty. Put a little of the fried onion on top.
Oh yeah.
Give it a little crunch. It was
crunch.
Delicious. Yeah, I know. Chicago for Real is visibly upset about this. What was let's see. I'd have to go back to the very
Chicago for Real. What was the pasta you were hoping for?
What was the pasta you were rooting for? And then we'll see if it is.
We got lasagna. Lasagna counts, right?
Well, I mean, lasagna noodles. They're just like
flat
not
noodles.
lasagna, just flat, like thick
Sheet
noodle. Sheet noodle.
I love a thick noodle.
Okay. Elbows. He was upset about the elbows. I get it. But it might have been a very close fourth. So who knows?
I bet it was.
My guess is elbows was definitely top 5. Well, that's what you get for thinking we're basic. We're actually sometimes pretty fancy. Sometimes we can be. Well, that's our show. Chloe, do you have any parting words of wisdom you would like to share to the masses?
I'm just gonna go back to what I said earlier. Wear a mask and bring your flask.
Wear a mask, bring your flask. I mean, if you could develop that is
yes. It's got to be it's gonna have to be like one of those beer helmet type concepts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where you have the mask here and then the straws come out of the mask into the.
Yeah, Camelback for your face, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. We're gonna workshop this.
We'll have some prototypes drawn up for you next week. So until then, friends, have a wonderful day. Be good to each other, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye, world.
Goodbye, world.